Hi friends, it's Kathy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's in the Cards Divination. Today we're going to be looking at conflict in our lives. If you're going through conflict in any way or disagreement or issues with someone, which we all are at some point in our lives, then stay tuned to this video. We're going to be doing a general reading and we're going to see different scenarios. This it won't be a pick-a-pile, but we'll have different scenarios to see how and what is going on, and maybe there's some ways to fix it, or way, perhaps, or it's going to go in a certain direction. Let's have a look today. If this sounds like something of interest, please click on the like button. And as well, if you consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Welcome back to my new subscribers. If you're new here, I love that you're here and thank you so much for subscribing, as well as my returning subscribers who mean so much to me too. So friends, let's get started. We have the Peacemaker here, the Peacemaker card. Are you that kind of person, or are you the one that stirs the pot? So stay tuned and let's get started in this reading. Hi friends, today's focus on our reading is going to be on conflict in our lives. What's going on and how can we either fix it or deal with it? Now, this is a general reading, so if it doesn't resonate, as I've always said, let it go. If it does, I'd love to hear back how it's resonating for you and what's going on, if it can be fixed. Well, let's have a look first at our first scenario as far as conflict, as to what the tarot cards can tell us about the situation. All right, let's get going here. Okay, first card, Five of Swords, reverse. Pull that over, maybe up a little closer so you can see it. And we have the King of Wands in the reverse. Finally, Two of Swords in the reverse. So what I have already can see going on here is there definitely has been conflict. Definitely, we know that anyways, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be listening to this video. The Five of Swords in reverse tells me that there is a situation you're wanting to make peace with someone. You're wanting to put this behind you, let it go, move on, and start over maybe, or start again, or for those of you that it has been a constant source of conflict with someone, then, or even maybe even a group if it's a family situation. But it looks like you are already in that state of wanting to let it go. But unfortunately, the King of Wands in the reverse tells me that person is acting very poorly. They're actually almost kind of egotistical about this situation, whether that's you or the other party involved. It feels like they're the ones that will not back down. They're like, nope, I'm in the right. I know what I've done. And you know what it tells me that is perhaps there's no winning with this kind of energy. So perhaps you need to have a way of finding a truce. But I feel that you may not even go in that direction, like you're done. You're like, there's no winning with this person. I can't change them. They are who they are, whether that means they're not part of your life. But I feel like you're going to let go of these swords because you know there's no point arguing with this person or in this situation. Okay, so that's a very general, obviously, but we're going to look at another scenario. These are just quick ones, my friend. So they could apply in different areas of your life, different aspects. But because I'm dealing with more than one person, obviously, I cannot get specific too much. So let's just see what we have in another scenario. Okay. Now we have the King of Swords in reverse. My goodness. We have the Moon upright. and the Ten of Cups in reverse. So, what I'm getting from this particular scenario, there's a lot of confusion and misunderstanding, it feels like, in this particular situation. And it could be around your home situation as far as things at home not going so well. Um, it could be family related as far as directly your immediate family or your most likely your immediate. This card often refers to that. There is a situation you're not seeing the whole picture. Okay. So it's involving this King of Swords energy, which can be a little bit abusive in their words. They can be very critical. So if somebody's being critical in your conflict or in your life, I feel like there's something else going on here. That if this is a friend and they have been very critical of you, I feel like they're not happy. Well, they aren't. They're not happy with themselves. They're not happy in their life. They're going through something. So that's what I feel. Not that there's ever an excuse for people's attack or verbal criticism like that. Perhaps you need to find out more about what's going on. Okay. I feel like it's not necessarily, if this is a partner or spouse situation, I don't feel like it can be necessarily worked out. It's probably an illusion or a fantasy that this situation is going to change. So, future of this does not look very bright as far as, even though the moon is very bright, because I feel like you're not being true to yourself. It's like when we tell ourselves something, even though because we want it to be true, even though it's not. It's like a delusional almost. It's not that serious, but it could be as far as this person is not going to change. Okay. Sometimes it requires us just to let go of our illusions, let go of how we see that person. Do not put them on a pedestal. All right. So that could be one more scenario, my friends. Let's look at a few more and see what's going on here. What is it about conflict? Sometimes we can't always be the peacemaker, right? I mean, it just sometimes we have to agree to disagree or walk away. Okay. All right. What else can the cards tell us about this? About the conflict in your lives? All right. Let's see here. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. My goodness. Reverse cards. The Emperor in reverse. And finally, Page of Pentacles, but upright. Okay, so this situation could be, this is a boss, most likely. For most of you, I know that's specific. I was keeping it more general. We'll go back to the general aspect of it. For those of you who are having conflict in your workplace, I feel very strongly that, I mean, this is, it's causing a lot of these, I want to say you're questioning the authority of this person because of the way they're behaving, whether it is your home life or a work situation. If it's your partner, spouse, friend, relative, they are proving to themselves to be, I'd say, rather selfish. Maybe they're a little bit tight, holding on to their financial life, and they don't want to let their money go. Because the emperor is in the reverse, it provides more information as to somebody perhaps in power. They think they're more important than they are. Okay, so it's almost that narcissistic tendency. They feel like they think they are the boss, they're the ones that run the show, but because of their behavior with you and the conflict, they themselves are undermining their own authority. Okay, now if this is even a partner or a friend, it's still the same message because it's general. But because it's all pentacles mostly, there's two pentacles, this particular reading could really reflect on a work career situation. Now, I feel for most of you, the only way around this is potentially either a new job, a new beginning, a new start in some type, whether it's in the organization and you start over, Or maybe if it's relationship wise, unfortunately, it could be, or I don't want to say leaving this person, but there needs to be an acceptance that this person is not going to change. They are who they are. But as I mentioned, it's mostly geared to career, work. And I feel like there's a new job then coming because you don't, clearly you can't fix that. If that's work related, that's the boss, right? We can't fix it. So the only option is either you have to accept it, work with it, or you need to look for something else. So there is the potential. It doesn't mean it's outside the organization, could be within, but not dealing with this person, right? Okay. Sometimes you have to put in um, complaints. Sometimes the Page of Pentacles in this case is about putting forward some kind of a you want to find out something. You want to be able to reach out to somebody else that is not this person, maybe somebody over their head, which could help you in this situation. Not that you want to go over their head, but if you've tried everything, it's not working, you need to move on. Perhaps look for another job. Let's go on to the next situation. The good news is in the last one, it looks like there is something there potentially coming. Maybe it's even without you trying. Maybe you're not actually looking, it's just going to come. Okay? So let's go on to our next scenario, my friends. Let's try this. The Ten of Swords, right? As you can see. Eight of Pentacles, right? And finally, the Page of Wands in the reverse. So whatever conflict you've been dealing with, my friends, it looks pretty serious from the Ten of Swords. Feel like it's yes, it is somebody that has been really, oh, I think they're so focused on their life, this person, that they're not paying attention to maybe things they've said that hurt you. It's like they're, I want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? They're busy, they're overworking, not paying attention to their words even. And it's because they don't know they're not, you can't rely on them. They're not able to articulate properly. Like any arguments you've had, I feel like they're this back and forth kind of immature person. Just it's like you can say something and they're like, so. Like a comeback like that. Like that really helps. That they're not able to, and in some cases here, the scenario is this person actually walks away from arguments. There's people that do that. They can't face conflict. So the Page of Wands in reverse is like they just run for the hills anytime there's an issue. It's like they're almost like they're OCD in a lot of ways, and they don't want to deal with they're easily distracted is the word I was going to say. Meanwhile, you're going through this shit. They themselves are not paying attention to what they've done to hurt you. And when that happens, there needs to be a clear conversation and communication in order to explain this is how it's making me feel. They may have no idea that that's what's going on because they're too preoccupied. That's the word I was looking for. Preoccupied with their own situation. And that is a bit of a selfish thing. I get it, but there's a lot of people that cannot think, they don't have the self awareness very well. There's a lot of people self awareness because the Page of Wands, he does not especially in the reverse, he does not have self awareness. You're not able to rely on him even to finish an argument in some cases. So for friends that are dealing with this, and I feel like like I say, they don't even realize how much they've hurt you That's what it feels like to me. That the energy around is like you're laying here like this and they're off doing their own thing. So in this case, fixing it, as I mentioned, requires a conversation. You need to sit down and tell them, sit the frick down because I want to talk to you about this. Let's pull another card just to see more information on that page. Yeah, they do. They need to be definitely like sit down and let's go over this because they just can't seem to they can't sit still, I want to say. Okay? There needs to be this stabilization of their energy and perhaps more of a regard for what's going through for you. There's also another scenario I'm seeing here, which is very specific. There could be a parent who's having conflict with a teenager or a child at this time. The Page of Wands reverse reflecting the child. And they are very all over the place. Maybe they're not wanting even to get a job. It could be with respect to that, and it's causing this huge problem at home. So that was very specific, but I keep hearing it. It's pretty clear um, that you want them to get a good job. You want them to be more thoughtful, more reliable. They're not proving themselves. So this is an ongoing conflict. For me, when it's that type of situation, you do still need to have this conversation with this page, but there's also a level of maturity here. This person hasn't grown up. Even if it's an adult, they don't have the emotional maturity or intellectual maturity. They're just like off doing their own thing whenever they feel like it. It's like, look, that type of thing. So you do need to sit them down and have a good conversation about what it's causing you. And maybe they've been a little selfish about this whole thing. Whoever is involved, they are not, it's like they're not paying attention. It's almost like I don't even realize that you're miserable, okay? Or that you've been hurt. Let's see what other scenario we can get here. All right. What other conflict scenario are we looking at and how can they fix it? Okay. We have the death card, but in the reverse. And we have the two of pentacles and upright. And finally, the nine of pentacles, but in the reverse. Okay. Again, this could be a career work situation. There is a situation if it is whoever it's related to or whatever, primarily career, where you're stuck. You're stuck. You feel like you have no way to go. And this feels more about conflict for the most part with self. Okay. You're conflicted. In other words, you don't know what to do. You're stuck. Maybe you're stuck in a job. So there's a conflict within. All right. You you have a choice. You could take a new job, lower paying job, but you wouldn't be as happy. So what do you do about a situation like that? On one side, you are stuck. On the other, like you're stuck in a negative situation. But on the other side, you don't know what to do. Like, because the problem is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse gives you discontent with the idea of leaving. It's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So let's see. It's like you have to make the decision here, okay? This is telling me that it's like all you're doing is spinning your wheels. It's nothing's happening here. Let's see. Okay. Six of Cups, upright. What is it that this is what you have to do or think about. What is it that's given you joy in the past? So again, this particular scenario is with self more than anything else. Okay. I'll read another scenario, but at this point, this tells me that if this is career related, you need to figure out what was it from your past that gave you joy. You know, that kind of good feeling where you lose track of time? That's what that Six of Cups upright means to me. So if you are, do some research if this is a scenario with a job and you're conflicted with yourself. But it can also be a scenario here of being stuck primarily, and again, it's with you, I'd say for now, as to focusing too much on financial. It's keeping you stuck, but you're conflicted because that's how you've always been. That maybe money is your motivator, perhaps, and it's causing you a huge amount of conflict. So you need to try to work with that and move away from it. Because obviously, as long as you have enough money to take care of what you need, if you're doing something you're happy with, move on. Okay. So another scenario I'm seeing here is, again, you don't know what to do. There's this, you've just been going along status quo, and you're feeling like there is somebody in your life, this Nine of Pentacles in reverse, that you're not so happy with. Things may have been, it could even be somebody you knew from your childhood, a friend, somebody that you've known a long time, and maybe they've been really good to you in the past, but I feel like it's not doing it for you. It's not that you don't like them, but I feel like you're conflicted as far as, do I really need to be with this person anymore just because we were happy? And I apologize for the background noise. We'll just let it go through right now. Okay. It's aircraft. But this person, this friend, I feel like they things have changed for you. Okay. You are moving in a different direction. And I feel like it's just causing you this discontent with them. Um, Make sure and I feel like again, it's a conflict inside yourself. All right. So let me see. Let's see what else we can get here, my friends. All right. Let us pull another card. Another scenario. So, if any of these scenarios are not exactly 100% for you, don't worry about it. As I mentioned, only take what bits and pieces resonate and what your gut tells you. All right? Get rid of the rest. Throw it away. Let's see what other scenario we find here about conflict some people might be dealing with here. We have the Emperor in reverse again. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Ooh. And finally, the Temperance, but in reverse. Okay, definitely a conflict. This this person, this Emperor energy, again, could be a boss, could be a father figure, could be a friend with a very strong personality, but it's someone in your life who basically thinks that they're the ones who call the shots. They're the ones who are, it's my way or the highway. I don't care what you think. They're a bit egotistical, okay? And they want it all their way. So there's somebody who's causing you a lot of sadness with this conflict. I feel like it could be a family member for the most part, for most of you. And there's this sense of walking on eggshells with them. There's no peace. There's nothing you can do about it, it feels. That's the feeling around. See if what the advice, though, is, okay? Because it's causing a lot of sadness. So for me, when I see that, it's either it can be a spouse or a family member or boyfriend girlfriend situation because of the emotional content here. All right. I feel, well, we know number one that you can't change that person, right? The advice is telling you don't do anything foolish right now. I know that sounds interesting. And I feel like it's like, oh, go get another one for the advice. What else? Yeah, it's telling you to stay put. Don't walk away from this situation. It's more about giving it time. Maybe there is something more you can do. But if it's a situation where you were planning to leave or put them behind you, they're telling you to stay put for now. It's like this energy has to remain, and there's a reason for that. See if I can find that out. Why do they need to Stay put. Why is that? Because there could be a time of almost like a new start, a new beginning. There could be this moment in your life with this person where it's like you have two choices. You can go this way or you can go that way. But I feel like right now is not the time to move on. There will be a time, according to the Two of Wands upright, or you have to make a choice. But at this point, it's telling you to stay put in this situation, which I know it sounds terrible, and I would never encourage anybody to stay in whether it's an abusive situation, but it means don't distance yourself necessarily from this person or cut them off. That's what it means, or leave if it's a physical situation. Um, I feel like they I want to say that there will be a time to be able to, with this person, this Emperor energy, to start fresh in a way. Okay. So that's what it's kind of leading me more to. When I say take, have a choice, I feel like there's a time where you'll be able to um, together choose which way you want to go. Okay. And that means whether or not maybe you do walk, or you actually work together to make it work. But because it's upright, it feels very positive. I feel like there's a chance that this situation could turn around. All right, let's move on, and I'll do the last scenario now, and we'll see what other conflict situation is going on. So, are you the peacemaker? As I mentioned in the intro. I'm the person that tries to. A lot of people don't, it's not their thing. It's like, you know what? You wrong me, you're dead to me. Or I just walk away. That happens. Now, let's see what the cards tell us. Generally speaking. Now we have it in the reverse. Two of Wands, reverse now. Okay. And we have the Seven of Cups in the reverse. Oh, interesting. Already getting some hits. And I'm just going to pull a third one. Let's see what we get. Oh, Ace of Cups in the upright. It's always good to see that. Okay, the conflict been going on, I feel, is yours. The last one feels very much an inner conflict. Okay, we're going to deal with a couple different scenarios here because I can see there's a few different things going on. First one is an inner conflict within yourself as to what to do. There appears to be you're at a point where you're stuck. You're very stuck, or you have been. Now it looks like that's going to end. A decision is going to be made. It's one is going to be the choice that you're going to choose, but you're worrying it might be the wrong choice because of the fact that there are so many choices here, but it will be the right choice. Okay, because the Ace of Cups is showing a peace, a loving, good feelings. There's good energy around the upright Ace of Cups. If this is a situation with a partner, there could have been something you were trying to decide to do, but maybe they weren't all on board with, or your friends, or whoever. But it looks like it's the right decision because the Ace of Cups is showing us. So I feel like you might be the one reaching out with the olive branch and offering this person that you're in conflict with. It's like turning the other cheek. It's like you're giving them another chance. Okay. What they do with it, I don't know. Okay. So that's in relation to another person conflict. It's like you've been thinking a lot lately and you're just stuck as far as you don't know what to do, which direction to go. You're like with this person, it's like, I don't know what to do. Or even if it's within yourself, a decision, you just don't know which way to go, right? So you're stuck. In other words, you're not doing anything. But it looks like there is now this situation going forward. A decision is made. You picked one of these cups. You're going to run grab the ball and run with it and see what happens. And it could very well be that they come to you with the Ace of Cups. It may not necessarily be you going to them, but they may be offering you the olive branch. And do you take it? Are you the peacemaker? Are you going to give them another chance? And that's entirely up to you. If this is an inner conflict, I feel very strongly that one of those cups is going to be the right one. So whichever one you do end up choosing, whichever way you decide to go, it's going to be the right one and it's going to work out for the best. And you'll solve that inner conflict once and for all. My dear friends, I hope you enjoyed these readings about conflict today. I look forward to hearing from you and we'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.